Does listening to the daily news sometimes make you feel anxious or even fearful? Well, then it's time to listen to some good, happy news like we have here. So let's start off our day with something wonderful or hear a story about someone being marvelous. Let's make today Wonderlous. This is the show that gives you a happy, uplifting, feel-good stories from around the world. Welcome to another episode of Wonderless News. I'm Hoyt Christopher. Let's get right to it. All right, so our first segment is 80-year-old woman celebrates doing a 5K every day, 1,000 in a row so far. And I heard she's continuing on even after this segment was released. So she's a Cherokee woman who is determined not to let that pandemic that we all went through get her down. So she began running or walking a 5K every day for 100 days. Well, I don't know how she managed to do a 5K walk or run every single day for the last 1,000 days, but she did, says her daughter. So Julie, so Herb's daughter. So Julie is her daughter. Her milestone was celebrated. So hitting that 1,000 days in a row of running or walking a 5K every day was celebrated by a gathering of friends and family. And some was even virtually because they couldn't be there physically. And, they all said, look, she's my hero. She is amazing. I cannot believe that this woman at 80 was walking and or running a 5K every day. I mean, yeah, it's 3.5 miles? Okay, but that's every day, guys. That's every single day in a row. She didn't miss a single day. It says she did not miss a single day. So look, her name's Herb. She lives with her husband of 56 years. Wow. Jim Herb. They're in a rural town called Blackgum. I love that. In Oklahoma. It's just amazing that she did this. And she's an inspiration, they said, to her community, friends, and family. And you know what? I am inspired by her as well. I think we all should be. So congratulations to her. Great story. All right, next segment is a 911 dispatcher walks a family through CPR and ends up saving that toddler's life. This is great. So this little 2-year-old girl was found face down in the family's pool. That scares me to death every time I think about that. In the afternoon, and they pulled her out of there. They didn't know how to do CPR, so they called 911, and the supervisor got on the phone and walked them through the process of performing CPR on this little 2-year-old girl. Once the paramedics arrived on the scene, they were able to, finish the resuscitation. They got her to the hospital. She was in pretty bad condition, but now she has a lot of promising signs, and she's making a full recovery. So a great news story, a great story about, just those individuals that we just take for granted, servicing us at the 911 department around our country. I mean, the fact that they were able to walk this family through that process of CPR, which I'm actually certified in CPR, I have to be. So it's not easy. I mean, I've never had to perform on anybody but a mannequin. In a real life situation, even with someone telling me how to do it, it's kind of freaky to think about. But it's your daughter or it's your niece or whoever it was. The whole family had they were there to help. But I mean, I would do it. Great that they know. You know what? Maybe we should all learn how to do CPR. Maybe that should just be a requirement. You get your driver's license. You learn how to drive a car. Learn how to drive a motorcycle. You just by having those vehicles, maybe turning a certain age, it should be mandatory to learn CPR. Why not? Why shouldn't all of us know how to do CPR and save someone's life in a situation like this? It worked out, but it could have gone very differently if they didn't get a hold of someone at 911 that knew how to walk them through it. So, all right. Well, it's time for our Wonderless moment of the day, brought to us by Rise by Shaman Angelina. She has an amazing store on Etsy, so check out her handmade coastal jewelry, phenomenal pieces, and the link to her site is in the description of the show, so check that out. Let's see this video of a tropical waterfall and some cool music. Here we go. Thank you, Rise by Sham and Angelina. That was really cool. I like that. The waterfall was great. The music was really fun. So great little moment, kind of brought us out, and we're back into it for our next story of the day. This one is a man stranded in the Oregon wilderness uses a drone to get help. All right, so this guy, he's a motorist up in Oregon. He got stuck in the snow. It's a common problem for us here right now, this time of year. Got stuck in the snow in the Willamette National Forest in Oregon. He attempted, I guess, to traverse a snow-covered road when his vehicle became stuck in the snow, and he didn't have cell service to call for help. Okay, so he had a drone though. He was cruising around with a drone. Not something I hear a lot of people doing, but maybe you drone owners and users are keeping those in your car for those moments. Here's a great way to use it in this case. So he ended up attaching his cell phone to the drone. Then he texted a text message to a trusted person that he knew who could help find him, gave him his exact location, and hit send. Then he launched the drone several hundred feet into the air. The increased elevation allowed his phone to connect to a tower and send the message. This is like some MacGyver stuff. This is like some FBI, CIA stuff, something like that, right? I feel like this is a show that I would watch and on Netflix or somewhere or just whatever and find, this happen in one of the shows. Hey, the guy was saved. It's great all around. I love it. Good job. Thanks to the drone and the cell phone, they were not injured in this incident. So now it's time for the Wonderlous thought. And I would say, be prepared in life. I definitely believe that things happen, and sometimes it's fate maneuvering us through things, and God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. But let's also be prepared. This guy was prepared. He had a drone. If you're driving and you're going a long distance from home and into areas where there's not many people on the road and there's not many stops, or civilization is definitely, you're further from civilization, if you will, and the conditions outside, the weather, snow, and all that stuff is bad, well, then you should have some extra bottled water, have some extra blankets, have a CB radio, have a drone. Come prepared just in case. Just in case. What is it? For any of us that have something, people are, why do you have that? I don't know. How about a gun owner? Why do you have a gun? I don't plan on using it, but just in case I have it if I need to, right? It's one of those things where I'm not planning on using it, but if I need it, it's here. Maybe a gun's a bad example, but it's just the one that came to mind. I don't own a gun anymore, but if I was going to have one, it would be purely for that. I never plan on using it, but just in case, I have it if I need to. So this guy had a drone, wasn't planning on using it in a snowstorm, but guess what? It came in pretty handy. So everybody out there, be prepared as much as you possibly can. And maybe something like this will save your life or someone that you love. All right. So if you have a positive, feel-good, uplifting story that you want to share with us, please do send it to wonderlessnews@gmail.com. I will talk about it here on the show. In the meantime, thanks for watching and listening. I'm Hoyt Christopher. This is Wonderless News, and I'll see you tomorrow.